friends, welcome back to 4F Beauty. Here's the situation. You're enjoying snuggling up in bed, it's a little bit cold the other side of the duvet, you don't want to get out, you've hit snooze way too many times. You get up, your hubby or your kids or someone else is in the bathroom and you're like, hello, come on, tick tock, tick tock. Before you know it, you're running late. You haven't even got time for that cup of coffee in the morning, but there's no way you're leaving that house looking like the wreck of the Hesperus. So this is my really, really quick, simple, easy, as few products as possible, just to make yourself look presentable and get out the door makeup. It is going to be one of my shorter videos, I hope you enjoy it. Perhaps you'd consider giving me a like in the little like button, and perhaps subscribe and join my notification squad. And although we're running late, we've always got time for the song. When will I be YouTube famous? Here's the tutorial. Hi! I'm not sure how much I've told you in my intro yet, but this is the makeup that I do on a day when I've hit snooze one too many times, or the husband has taken way too long in the bathroom, and I'm now running late. Alright, so my face is freshly washed and moisturised, because obviously we did that when we got out of the shower, and I'm now about to pop my face primer. This, as I say in all of my videos, this is actually a facial antiperspirant because I struggle with chronic pain and side effects of meds which make my face sweat a lot during the day, and if I don't do something like this, then I can kiss goodbye to my makeup in about an hour, I suppose. Okay, you can see my hair's still wet from the shower. So, I am going to be using quite a few Tarte products today. If you want to know my feelings on the whole Tarte Shape Tape foundation debacle and lack of diversity when it comes to their foundations, I covered that in my top 5 palettes, and I'll put a link to that below. And when I listed the foundations that I had of Tarte there, because as I said, I'm not going to boycott. Well, I'm boycotting Tarte in that I'm not going to buy any more of their products until all of their foundation ranges are diverse, so that the very fair and the very dark can all find their colour. I listed the 3 liquid foundations that I have of theirs. Completely forgot this one, which is the Tarte Confidence Creamy Powder Foundation. This is a godsend. Powder foundations are a godsend when you're running late. So, you're running late. You go in. Sorry about that, my memory card filled up. I had to go and delete a bit off. Okay, so we're running late. It's time for a bit of concealer. I'm going to go in for this Colourpop No Filter, which is covered in powder, so you can't actually read it. Colourpop No Filter Concealer in Fair 5. And because we're going to use a powder foundation, we use all our cream products first, because creams after powder, not great. So anywhere you think you want a little bit of extra coverage, we chuck our concealer on. As always, flat foundation brush, just to, because powder foundations don't tend to give as much coverage, or at least on me, as liquid ones do. And I do have some discoloration on my skin from old rugby injuries and scarring and stuff. Yes, I used to play rugby. Started off at scrum half, and then I got tall, bulked up, and they popped me to prop. Started off as number 3, ended up as number 1 because when I played rugby it was pre the 360 scrum rule, where if the scrum wheels more than 360 degrees, you have to stop and reset it. When I played, it was long before that rule. Scrums would spin and spin and spin, and I had repeated issues of my right shoulder blade dislocating. So it popped me across from 3 to 1 to try and stop that happening. It was great fun. I'm sure that's one of the reasons my skin looks as good as it does, because I spent so much of my youth rolling around on a muddy field. I pop a little bit on my nose, partly because my nose hates foundation, so the smallest little thing to help is great. As always, I've got a face wipe here. Even though we're only using one brush for cream, I still clean it off. Okay. Now we get our big old powder brush that we normally powder our face with, and we go into, so I picked up the wrong thing, our powder foundation. This is in Fair Neutral. And we just bung it on, basically. As I said, we're in a rush, no time to be delicate about this. We're late for getting to work, getting to college, getting to school, picking the kids up, taking the kids out, going to a, I wouldn't necessarily go to a job interview like this, but you know, if you're running late, powder foundation covers a multitude of sins. You can bung it in your handbag, touch it up during the day if it needs it. And you can see how quickly that just goes on. As I said, doesn't give you as much coverage as a liquid one would, but then you wouldn't expect it to. Now I'm going to go into a Tarte, this is one of their clay palettes called Ladies Night. Bronzer, highlight, blush. There's only really three mattes, sorry. These three. But watch me. Big old fluffy brush into the bronzer. Give it a wiggle off. As you know, I don't tend to contour, and if you're running late, you don't have time to do both, so you chuck your bronzer on to warm your face up a little bit, make yourself look a bit more alive. This is probably the quickest you will ever see me do my makeup. And then, as always, I'll show you the brushes each time. This is the brush I use for my bronzer. I use a more tapered one for my blush. Now, I love the Amazon blushes. This one is in shade Glammed. The first one of theirs I got was exposed, and that is just, if you're fair to probably light, medium or tan, that will look amazing on you. It's just such a great all-round everyday. See, I told you we'd zoom through this. And then we get our fluffy brush that we use for our crease, and we're initially going to go in with this one and just sweep it across the lid. All over. As I've said before, powders from the same palette blend best on themselves. Now I'm going to go back into my bronzer, I'm going to zoom through my crease like this. A little bit on the outside corner, and a little bit underneath. Back into the bronzer for the other side. Colour switch your brushes clean. Get your flat packer brush. Go into this light plum, very similar to Buon Fresco from Modern Renaissance by Anastasia. Run that across your lid. You won't see it as a huge difference against your bronzer, but that's not what we're going for. We're going for a put together look so we can get out the door. And then we get a little brush, go into our highlight. And we bung a little bit up under our brow. Comme ça. A little bit in our inner corner, make us look like we're actually awake and we had time for that extra coffee before we left the house this morning, which we really haven't. A wee bit on our top lip. This time we're actually going to go into the fluffy end of our brush because it's work, and we're just going to dust a little bit of it on the high points of our cheeks. This is the only time you'll see me going subtle with my highlight. But if you're going for a pared down look, you can't really blast the highlight out. Alright, we've used a lot of different powders, so it's a good time now to actually grab our setting spray and just to help blend those all together. Very Peter Mon, isn't it? And then I am going to go in for one of my favourite bullet lipsticks. This is MAC Velvet Teddy. I do have a habit of showing you these things upside down, don't I? Zoom in a wee bit just so you can, you know how to put a bullet lipstick on. Helps if I actually show you on screen, doesn't it? What a plonker. And then on top of that, I'm going to put a little bit of this e.l.f. gloss called Nude Rose. It's a Alyssa Ashley collaboration. Dot it on your bottom lip. And now we just need to bung a. It's one of the few days you'll see me without eyeliner too, but you can't be mucking about with eyeliner if you haven't got a long time. Bung a bit of mascara on your lashes. work out what you're going to do with your hair for the day. I just normally do that with mine and let it get on with it, really. And there you go. Out the door. Done. Hope you found this helpful. Like I said, it's not often you'll see me without liner and without that happens. Really scrape off your concealer brush, dab it over the top, use your finger. We haven't got time for it to dry, and then use your finger straight into your foundation, powder foundation. That'll hold it enough until we can get to work, then once it's dry you can just scrape it off with your nail. So, bang that in your handbag with a fluffy brush, or if you've got a travel brush, the lid broke so I covered it in penguin duct tape. If you've got a travel brush you can just bung in your handbag with your lippy and your gloss, you're out the door, you're done. As I said, I hope that was helpful and shows you just a nice, quick, everyday, not quite 5 minutes, but not that too far from it. As you can see, I didn't really do anything with my brows because my brows are, I'm lucky, I've got a decent enough brow that I can get away without actually doing anything to them. If you haven't, then obviously just very quickly run a brow pencil through. You've seen me do that often enough. You know how I do with my brow pencil. But for me, for a quick, you know, if I'm running late, this is my makeup. This is what I do, and this is when I head out the door. Okay. Subscribe button's there. Like button if you enjoyed this. Probably one of my shorter videos. See you again soon. Bye bye for now.